and get ready for 90 minutes of terrific soccer between Belgium and the U.S. I'm Alex Gould. Alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. We'll have the action for you all tournament long. Make sure we talk about the crew a little bit. Presented, but only one gold medal winner. Where else would you rather be than here in Spokane?
You know what, Alex? I can't think of a better place to be right now. It is sunny, not a cloud in the sky. And if you're coming out here to watch tonight, make sure you're bringing your sunscreen because it is a hot one.
Yes, it is. Now, you may be wondering, what does CISM stand for? Well, it stands for the Council International du Sport Militaire, or here in the United States, Council International of Sports Military. And as for what CISM is, well, our terrific crew put together a wonderful video for you all to watch. So that is what CISM is. Again, Alex Gould, Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, Belgium, ready for first touch inside center circle. Belgium, of course, in the red, black, and yellow. The U.S. with the white jerseys and the red trim. But over 140 different nations make up CISM, 30 different sports. And the biggest takeaway is the message, friendship through sports. Okay, taking a look at the lineups if we can here for Belgium really quickly. You'll see them on your screen hopefully in a minute. 4-4-2 formation for the Belgium military. As you take a look right there, you see that is from right to left on your screen. We're in a 4-4-2 formation. Their head coach is Nico van Ertzel. And then for the United States, you see right there, they're in a 4-3-3 formation. And their head coach, in his final season as the head coach for Team USA, hoping to come away with a gold medal for the first time in 20 years, is Derek Weyand. And then the referees today, head referee from the Netherlands is Mariska Overtoom, and then the AR1 from Mali is Dembili Janoubi, and then the AR2 also from the Netherlands is Don Frein, and then the fourth official today, also from Mali, is Mariko Bikai. So Belgium getting ready to go. This is a Belgium squad, Shelby, that got off the plane this morning at 9:30 in the morning. Every team had pretty much made it here at least by yesterday, if not a couple of days ago on Saturday. The United States has been here since June 18th. So we want to see, especially to the time difference, whether it'll affect this Belgium squad, since it is 12:30 in the morning, and they've been flying for the last 48 hours.
It'll be interesting to see. It looks like they came out with a lot of energy this morning. You know what? I can't even believe it, getting off the plane and having that much energy. I know that I couldn't do it being in that jet lag, but it looks like they're out here already.
Chance here for the U.S. early crossed inside the box. Good clearance there by Belgium. We're trying to look at the legs for Belgium. Another left-footed cross, and that is stopped by the keeper there for Belgium. The keeper, of course, is Lisa Malfroy. She is rank OR5 and in the Air Force. She's from Als, Belgium. So she's the captain of the ship back there for this Belgium team. But 10 nations, this is tied with 2018 for the most nations that have represented women's football or women's soccer. So we really appreciate you joining us. These women obviously work so hard for their countries, and they work so hard on the pitch. So you see here, a chance for the U.S. It's Morgan, the Cheetah Roberts, so quick. That's a laser cross off the right foot, stopped by the keeper and Malfroy. So about 2 minutes in to this match. See the U.S. already trying to put the pressure on the back four of Belgium. Turnover. And a chance, a header off the post. Now trying to clear it. Is it in? It is the first goal of the tournament for the United States. And that was off the head. I believe it was Haley Robertson, the center forward out of Okinawa, Japan. That's where she's from.
Man, what a start to the game within the first 2 minutes.
Taking a look at this again. Just see the U.S. was threatening right away. Belgium tried to clear and it went over the line. So Robertson's going to be credited with the first goal of the tournament, not even 3 minutes in to this very first match. And that's part of the storyline that Derek Wayan, the head coach for the United States, talked about with us, right? He's been talking the last couple of days and said, this is the most lethal team we've had in the 20 years since CISM women's soccer started.
Yes, and you know what? He talked about the charisma and the camaraderie that this team has brought, the friendship that they have shown. A lot of them have played in the U.S. Air Force Academy together as a team, and that really shows here the chemistry that the players have in this team of 2022.
Belgium right now just trying to get out of their defensive third. There's Morgan Roberts crossing it back to her left. Tried to find Robertson again, but the connection wasn't there. So Haley Robertson, who started her career at Auburn back in 2013, then had to sit out because of the university rules and the college rules here in the U.S. in 2014, but she was a star for Troy women's soccer from 2015 to 2017. Another chance here for the United States. This is Roberts, it's deflected. Touch on the ball that time by the back line for Belgium. And that's going to be the first whistle of the match. So that foul's going to go against the United States, but no card. Now's a good time to talk about our crew, where they come from. Got 7 8 different cameras. We'll get on camera at some point, Shelby. Got a bunch of different cameras. Want to give you every angle, and our crew's been working so hard to set up the last 48 to 72 hours nonstop every single day to make sure that whether you're in the United States or Belgium, maybe Ireland and Germany, that's the next match at 7 o'clock. That'll be 3 a.m. in Ireland, 4 a.m. in Germany. But they've been setting up really hard. Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, Utah, 2nd Audio Visual Squadron. And then Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. Another chance here for the U.S. Could be a one-on-one with the keeper. Another shot. Oh, slicing and dicing. There is goal number 2 for the United States. I believe that was captain in the U.S. Army out of St. Louis, Michigan. How crafty was that, Shelby?
That was good. That was a lot of good passing and sequencing with the teams, and then just having that one-on-one with the goalkeeper was great playing by Kaylee Utley.
We are seeing the power. We're seeing the pace from the U.S. And right now the storyline is, can Belgium just got off their flight at 9:30. They had to sleep in the Denver airport last night. You wonder how tough it was for Belgium to get here. Their flight was canceled in Brussels. They had to sleep in a hotel. Then their new flight out of Brussels was delayed. Finally arrived into Washington, D.C. a couple of nights ago. Then got into Denver last night around midnight. Slept in the airport. Got to Spokane around 9:30 in the morning. So you know they're gassed. Their back line's going to need a lot of help today. You see the United States has already put 2 on it.
And you know what? Both the goal scorers so far, Haley Robertson and Kaylee Utley, they actually play on the same team, the Ole Town Artesians of the Northwest Premier League. So you know what? That just shows the chemistry that these ladies have.
Flag stays down. Robertson had a chance. Instead, the field goal is good, but not within the right net. Robertson skyrocketed that one off the right foot. She was looking for goal number 3 for the U.S. and goal number 2 for her. But yeah, you mentioned it, and that's something that Derek Wayan was talking to us about, as well as Marcy Walton, the assistant coach for the United States. He's talking about the connection between the center forward and Haley Robertson and the left wing and Kaylee Utley. Utley was a 4-year starter at West Virginia. That was a powerhouse program, made it to the Elite 8. Here's a right foot rocket. That's stopped by the keeper, Ben Malfoy.
Well, you know what? I bet that keeper's getting woken up now. I mean, she's really getting the work cut out for her today.
Obviously, you played this sport, but talk about it. If you don't have the necessary preparations for 3 to 4 days, you're stuck in the airport. Not saying you've ever been in a situation like that. Everyone's had flight delays, but haven't had to compete in a Women's Military World Cup. Just talk about how challenging that is for Belgium.
Well, you know what? You really have to have...
And I'll cut you off for a second here. Roberts looking for one herself. It crunches off the crossbar, but Robertson
there we go. What an assist.
So it's not going to count as an assist for but Roberts, who crunches one off the crossbar, and Robertson has her 2nd goal of the match, the 3rd goal for the United States. And we're not even 9 minutes into this contest.
Yeah, that was an amazing goal there for Haley Robertson. That's her 2nd goal of the match, and I can't imagine that it won't keep going.
Well, they call Morgan Roberts the cheetah because of how fast she is. You can see over here on the near side of things, making it really difficult for the left back and left center back for Belgium. They have been tested here early. Laura Taufs.
That was a nice header by number 10.
Is the left center back. And then the left back is Kiersey Bochmans. But if we call Morgan Roberts the cheetah, maybe you got to call Robertson the vacuum cleaner. She wants another one here. Instead, it's going to be the keeper and Malfoy. Got a chance to briefly talk to some of the coaches for Belgium right before the match. And they said, listen, in the military, there's no excuses, right? We're going to go out, we're going to play the style of football, the style of soccer that we're used to playing. We've had good practice time in, maybe not the last 48 to 72 hours, but they said they'd be ready to go. They obviously talked about the challenges of the flights. It's never easy with what's happened to them. And of course, they're playing a really tough United States team. Roberts again, past Bochmans, right foot, cross, and that's going to be a goal kick. All right, so 10 minutes in to the first match here. Next match will be approximately 7 p.m. local time between Germany and Ireland. Again, that's going to be a 3 a.m. start time for the Irish, and for the Germans, it'll be a 4 a.m. start time. Both of those countries got in a couple of days ago, so at least they've had the chance to try and adjust. But as everyone knows, it's not easy when there's an 8 to 9 hour time difference.
Absolutely. And speaking about Germany having to come in so late, having no time to really practice in their positions on this field, having no time to really adjust to the elevation, the weather. I think this is really difficult, and having Belgium out here, and you know that they are, like they said, they're in the military. You just have to adapt, react, and recover. So I know that I can't imagine that they would be having any type of crutch for this.
Great throw in there. This is Katie Gernsbacher out of Austin, Texas. Say it's the U.S. ball. It's a throw in right by the corner flag here on the near side. Roberts is going to take it. There's Robertson. Good header. Design play. So that was a cross by Roberts. She was trying to find Aaron Spear over there, just outside the 18. So Union Stadium, home to two high schools here in Spokane. The Meade Panthers, you can see them on the end zone, the other side of things. And then Mount Spokane Wildcats as well. This is a newer facility. Hosts about 4,500 people. Really good crowd on tap here. I mean, it is packed, especially on one of the bleachers over by us, near the booth. A lot of people coming out to support. Of course, the U.S. hosting the Women's Military World Cup. But I know Belgian fans are watching. I know it's late at night, early in the morning. We appreciate you guys joining, especially on one of the bleachers over by us, near the booth. A lot of people coming out to support. Of course, the U.S. hosting the Women's Military World Cup. But I know Belgian fans are watching. I know it's late at night, early in the morning. We appreciate you guys joining us from all over the world. We also have a stats guy in the booth here. I'm going to shout him out. He's working hard. He's looking at crosses. He's looking at goals. He's looking at assists. It's John Anderson. He's our stats guy here in the booth, as well as 20-plus others from the Hill Air Force Base and Lackland Air Force Base. Belgium trying to find something here on their attacking third. Great defense there by Scotty Colton. Here's Robertson, one-on-one, has a teammate. That's Spear. Spear, right foot rocket, and a good save by Balfroy. And then it's cleared away, so it'll be a corner kick on the far side for the U.S. So Kaylee Utley, who scored the second goal, she's going to take the corner on the far side. Taking a look at a replay of that last save by Lisa Malfroy. Instead, we're going to stay here. This is Roberts. I mean, Roberts is all over the pitch. She's over here playing the right wing, and now she's all the way on the far side of things. You think she doesn't want the ball at her feet? But Shelby, I want you to talk about, obviously we see it in FIFA all the time, teams representing their country. But this is even more unique. This is a bunch of hardworking women who are representing not just their country, but their military each and every day. Talk about that a little bit, how unique it is.
Yeah, Alex, you know, it's kind of hard for people to imagine right now, but these ladies, they wear the uniform each and every day for each one of their countries, and not only are they being ambassadors for their country here, but they're being ambassadors for the sport itself. One of the big things about CISM is that friendship through sports, and I think that's something that they really value here as a team. Is everybody shares a love for this sport here, and no matter the country you're on, no matter what team you're on, everybody speaks this language for the love of soccer.
It's Colton over there taking the throw in on the far side. U.S. lead 3-0. A couple of goals from Haley Robertson. She scored second minute in. Chance for Roberts, left foot, no keeper.
There we go.
Roberts was itching for a goal after she saw her teammate Robertson score two. Kaylee Utley scored one as well. Now three different women for the United States have scored. It is 4-0. So 17 minutes in, the Cheetah, as they just called her on the PA. Morgan Roberts, captain in the Air Force from Las Vegas, Nevada. And when she played at the Air Force, she was formerly known as Morgan Mavrodotis before getting married. Played 3 seasons for the Air Force, starting 29 games in 2014 to 2016. Also got to play alongside a couple of her teammates here on this U.S. squad.
It's looking like Belgium's on the offensive up here.
Belgium trying to find one of their own. Instead, it's going to be a goal kick. I haven't talked about the keeper yet for the United States. Well, because she hasn't been tested at all. She's okay with that. Captain in the Army out of Laguna Niguel, California. That's Kelly Fitzgerald rocking the orange over there for the U.S. She played her soccer collegiately at Ole Miss. It's formerly known as Kelly McCormick. For any SEC fans and Ole Miss fans.
You know, one of the interesting things about Kelly Fitzgerald is she is a veteran in the Army. That's kind of a neat job.
Robertson left it for Roberts. Boy, was that cheeky. How about that? The footwork from Roberts, 15 to 2017. She is really impressive as that center forward for Derek Wayne scored. Corner here for Gernsbacher. Off the left foot. Deflected by a Belgium defender, acting as the keeper there. That's Colton. Playing it back out wide to Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher. And that is slapped away there by the keeper and Malfroy.
And that's another USA corner kick.
So if you're just tuning in, maybe you're just getting off work here in the United States, well, it's been all U.S. so far, and the 20 goals. They're looking to add on for a fifth here. It's going to be a goal kick.
You know, the U.S. team has gone through a pretty grueling month here. They started out with 93 applicants for the team here at the U.S., and you know that was broken down into 40, and finally the final 21 that are here with us today.
States their second of the match. But yeah, it's a big process, and a lot of head coaches and managers have talked about it from other nations as well. Never a simple process, but you really are trying to find the best 21 women to compete out on the pitch. So Derek Wayne, the head coach for the U.S., was talking about how challenging and tough it is just from a head coach's perspective of having to make those final cuts. You're oh so close to making the U.S. military team. These were the 21, and these are the 11 teams to start.
And I know a lot of the girls, they talked about, you know, they thought that it was the end of their soccer career in college. It was the end of their soccer career where they play, getting to represent their branch of military, their nation here. Playing the game that they love is something that is truly valuable to these women. And I think that's just something that's absolutely something that's not thought about here at this CISM tournament.
And there are mandatory water breaks, too. I want to bring that up. So we'll have one in a couple of minutes here. It is 88 degrees. You may even get one right here. And there it is, on cue. It's perfect timing there. 88 degrees here in Spokane. That's Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty hot here on the pitch. I know I'm coming over from Nashville. You're coming over from San Antonio. So you don't get the humidity, but it's hot out.
You know what? I have a hard time relating.
All right, stoppage here as everyone gets a water break. But here we are, 22-ish minutes into this first half. The storyline so far, the U.S. a little bit too much for Belgium. And, of course, Belgium, just can't imagine how tired they are from having to sleep in the airport, not arriving until 9:30 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, the U.S. has a lot of time, and had a lot of time here in Spokane. They had their tryouts June 19th through there, moving right on to the tournament today. So they have had a lot of time to practice, a lot of time to get together. They've had pep rallies at Fairchild. They have had just about anything you can imagine. I've gotten to hang out at the lake, the dining facility, and I cannot say the same for Belgium, and I can't imagine how tired they must be.
It does feel like sports in general, but especially military motto. You were talking about it, and how there's no real excuses. And that's what Belgium was talking with us before the match about, saying, hey, we're ready to go. We understand what we sign up for, and you can't help when a flight gets canceled or delayed. That's part of it. So we always knew that could be a chance. Anytime you have to take 2 to 3 planes into the pitch, so is Belgium. But if you're looking for any kind of adjustments here, okay, 23 minutes into this contest, what do you think Belgium needs to do differently coming out of this water break?
You know,
if you sub 2 in at one point, then 1 in at another point, you can only sub 1 more time, so you put legs onto the field. That is the rules for substitutes. We haven't seen any cards yet. If you get a red card, of course, you miss the next match, the remainder of this match. If you get 2 yellows, you also miss a match. That's something they briefed us on in the technical meeting yesterday. And of course, the motto is friendship through sport. It's a great motto. But, of course, a lot of the nations we're talking about, they're going to compete. You know, every nation is here to win. Every nation is here to aim for the gold. Belgium, Ireland, and Mali. We'll see.
it's looking like another throw in for Belgium. Hopefully they can keep it up in their offensive half.
Nothing United States. Again, if you're just joining us, Alex Gould, Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt Johnson. Really appreciate you joining us in the booth, joining our terrific crew. We'll be here for the next 2 matches per day. There's only one break day, I guess you can call it. It's the Thursday next week before the bronze medal match and the gold medal match. Roberts, who tried to pass it to herself. Can she get around the defender? She can. Roberts looking for number 2. And a good clearance by Belgium.
And that's why they call her the cheetah. Did you see how fast she was getting up there?
That was Sachlet who was able to get it out of harm's way, but it's going to be another corner for the U.S. Yeah, Roberts, I like the way, too. She kind of passed it to herself there. Corner, off the head, nothing doing. I believe that was Christina O'Sullivan. They call her the Bear. She's an attacking midfielder, a captain in the Air Force out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. But I asked Derek Way, and I said, why the Bear? He said, just watch the way she plays all tournament. She is ferocious on the pitch. She plays really good ball there by O'Sullivan. From the Bear to the Cheetah. There's Roberts. Boy, is that not a right foot rocket? That thing doesn't get more than 2 feet off the turf. And that's another this is not grass surface. It's artificial turf. So maybe some of the other countries who are coming in aren't used to playing on turf surface. Kind of talk about the difference a little bit.
Yeah, when we were talking to Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, who was the one who scouted for the fields and was scouting Spokane for the different fields to hold this tournament, the bodies of the players. But you know what? This is an amazing stadium, and I think that he picked out a great one for this event.
And also, too, if it's 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius, it's even hotter out on the turf. And so that's another big reason why I think they're doing the water breaks. Of course, they want everyone to stay hydrated. I think it's the right call by the CISM committee. But yeah, Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, and we were talking about him. What a human being he is. And we're going to tell his story. It feels like every match, every game. We're going to talk about Kirsch, as they call him. But he was a Division I soccer player, as Robertson, looking for a potential hat trick, and that's cleared out of danger by Bochmann. Looks like that's the 6th corner coming up for the United States. He's helped coach the women's team at times. He's a big reason this happened. He's stationed over at Fairchild Air Force Base. That's where all the teams are staying. Right foot. No good.
Yeah, I think he's really been a one-stop shop, hard-working man.
The 50-50 balls. Is Robertson on? Roberts is on. That's why Robertson left it. Roberts looking for number 2, and it's going to be number 2 for the Cheetah herself. Number 5 for the United States. Out the fact that it's more of a marathon instead of a sprint. Of course, you want to go 5-0. You want to go 4 and then 5-0 if you win the gold medal match. But in order to do that, a lot of coaches have talked about the fact that you got to save legs. It's a long 2 weeks.
Quantity Team USA.
This corner is going to be taken by Gernsbacher. Good ball. Another chance. Punched away. Left foot. Stopped by a Belgium defender.
Wow, that was great. That for the other player.
That was Kim van der Kruisen. An OR1 in the med service out of Ghent, Belgium. A midfielder had to make a save there, of course. tested a lot here in this. So Brazil, reigning champions, last time this event was held, not competing in this tournament. A lot of people were bummed. That Brazil team was really, really sharp. The next year, in 2023, it's going to be hosted by the Netherlands. Tournament will not be stateside, be across the seas over in the Netherlands. We'll see the Netherlands tomorrow for their first match of the tournament.
It's looking like the USA is really slowing down the field here, catching their breath so they can make some sequencing passes.
There's Simone Gardner, second lieutenant in the Army. She's the left center back. I guess she's playing right center back, it looks like, here for the U.S. Robertson, good touch. Back to Robertson. A little give and go for the U.S. Upper 90. Way too easy for Haley Robertson, and give her the hat. She's got a hat trick in the first half of the first match of the tournament. That's now 7-0 in favor of the United States. Just looks too easy for Haley Robertson.
What a nice give and go.
It was Robertson to Gernsbacher back to Robertson. And the U.S., I don't think they'll quite get to double digits here in the first half, but they're trying to get to double digits in this match. They are too much for Belgium here in Spokane. This is a U.S. team who won their lone gold back in 2002. It's the first official CISM tournament, even though there was a 4-team tournament. It was more like a scrimmage back in 2001. It's the United States, Germany, Netherlands, and Canada. Here's Roberts. Roberts wants a hat trick of her own. Roberts, good touch by the keeper and Malfoy. Now it's a foot race. And Malfoy able to body Roberts out of the way to make the save.
The U.S. defense really taking their time to get the ball up there, saving some breath, saving some legs.
We talk about this a lot, too. With a lopsided match like this, I feel like in a tournament setting, because of the way the tournament's set up, it's set up by goal differential. That's a tiebreaker. In case you get into that spot later on in the tournament, you want to run up the score. We talk about that a lot, but you really do want to score as many goals as possible because goal differential is the tiebreaker in case it were to get to that spot in Group A, which is the U.S., Belgium, Ireland, and Germany, who you will see later on tonight, as well as Cameroon. Another stop there by Malfoy.
I have a feeling that goal differential for this game is going to be relatively easy for the U.S. to get their numbers up there.
So in the 45th minute here, 7-0 in favor of the U.S. Wait and see how much stoppage is going to be awarded here in this first half. Can't imagine much. I mean, you had that water break. Time keeps running during that, so maybe a minute. Wait and see. Enrico Bicchi is the fourth official from Mali. Trying to wait to see how much stoppage. The United States up 7-0. I don't think Derek Wayan could have scripted a better start. I mean, if he was writing the movie, I don't know if he could have possibly imagined a 7-0 start in the first half. Good ball by Utley, and a shot taken. Malfroy makes the save on the far post, and that is it. That concludes the first half here of the CISM Women's Military Football World Cup, Soccer World Cup, and boy, what a start, Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, for the United States.
That is crazy. They are 7-0 at the first half. We talk a lot about Fairchild and the role that they have played in holding this tournament, but let's talk about the 92nd Aerial Refueling Wing at Fairchild. They are the host wing, and they are the moneymakers in this CISM tournament. They've been helping out a lot. They carry out air refueling, passenger and cargo airlift, and aeromedical evac missions, and they have been a huge, huge support and help for this tournament. So let's take a look at space.
From the dark skies over Europe in World War II to the heightened tensions of the Cold War, the famous 92nd and its favored few have answered their nation's call to fly, fight, and win. Our missions have changed from bombers to tankers, but one thing has remained the same: a legacy of excellence. The famous 92nd provides global reach for America with the largest inventory of tankers on the planet, and capabilities spanning from aerial refueling to cargo delivery and aeromedical evacuation. We train like we fight, working with joint and international allies to accomplish large-scale exercises like Mobility Guardian, and deploy medical personnel on humanitarian missions near and far. Always prepared to provide strength and hope where and when it's needed, we are American Airmen. We are unstoppable. We are fame's favored few.
Wow, what a look at the 92nd Air Refueling Wing. They are the largest air refueling wing in the world, and they have been absolutely astronomically important for this tournament and the things that they have done for the CISM and the teams here at the tournament.
They just celebrated 80 years of leading a legacy at the Fairchild Air Force Base in Washington on March 17th, 2022. I'm not a great math student, Shelby. That's 1942, I believe, that they've been doing this. And we salute them, of course, and especially for hosting a wonderful and beautiful tournament. Well, it's a beautiful start for the United States. They lead Belgium 7-0 here at the break. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll talk more about this tournament and about the next match between Germany and Ireland.
Na na are with me now. I'm not here to play around. Let me show you what I am. This my time to shine. All together one more time. Ring my bell and let it chime. Everyone around the world. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be black, be loud, be you, be hold the one that you've been waiting for.
Local youth soccer teams out on the field.
It's my time to shine. I'm gonna tell ya. I'm gonna tell ya. Be black, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. It's my time to shine.
And don't forget, folks, we have games happening daily at 3:30 and 7 p.m. all the way through July 22nd, where we'll have our final match. Aircraft to the right towards the second stand. Come from California. I'm in the Dominion. Go to take your picture with the Dominion.
It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now. I gotta. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up.
It's my time to shine. Everybody gather round. I'm the new kid in this town. Let me lay it on the mic. It's my time to shine. It's my time to shine. Let's kick back, enjoy the ride. My advice is don't think twice. Everyone around the world, look at me, I'm fine. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. It's my time to shine.
Did your ball boys get drinks?
I'm
Get
sure.
water? Okay.
Will you are with me now? I'm not here to play around. Let me show you what I am. It's my time to shine.
It's a Nick.
All together one
All
more
boys
time.
wanna get
Bring my
drinks.
belly, let it chime. Everyone
Not you,
around
but
the world.
somebody.
This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. It's my time to shine. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya about. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya about. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya about. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya this is about. And with be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. It's my time to shine.
Really did dominate the first half, and it really was three girls who got the majority of the goals.
Yeah, Robertson scored in the 2nd minute, then Kaylee Utley 3 minutes later in the 5th minute, then Robertson again. her second of the match in the 9th minute. They had 3 goals in the first 9 minutes of the match. Then the 16th minute was Roberts, the cheetah they call her. Morgan Roberts was all over the place. And then Kaylee Utley added her second in the 39th minute. And then Robertson to finish off the hat trick in the first half. How many times do you score a hat trick in your life, let alone in one half? She did it in 41 minutes. I'm not sure if that's a CISM record, but it's got to be pretty close.
Really, and these goals, they are a lot of teamwork goals. It's those crosses in the middles that are getting finished. It's those girls that are saying, you know what, it's not mine, but it's my teammates. And I think that's huge for these girls that have just started playing together a little over a week ago. You know what I mean? A lot of these teams have been playing all year round except for the U.S. And so this chemistry, to have them making these sequencing passes to and from each other, leaving it and passing through and give and goes, has been phenomenal.
And it feels like this United States team has played together for 20 plus years. I mean, they look like a veteran savvy team. And I think they are, right? A lot of them have played together, and we were talking about the connection between Robertson and Utley playing for Hollytown Artesians in the Northwest Premier League, but a lot of these players as well played together at the Air Force or Army or Navy, and so you can see that connection. But I think what's interesting is, and I want you to talk about it some more, that a lot of these women graduated from the Air Force or the Navy or the Army in 2014 or 2015, so it's been about 10 years since they've played together, but it doesn't look like that today.
It really doesn't. It looks like, and some of the players have said, it's been a couple months since they've touched the ball, but you cannot tell at all. The practicing, this week of practice has really done them some good, and the skill level that they
Belgium had about a 3-on-5 there. But again, another dispossession by Colton. He's all over the pitch. Colton couldn't stop it with the left foot in the air. Here's Utley. And the flag goes up. Utley is offside. But we were talking about this. We got interrupted by a corner kick earlier, but talking about the fans here in Spokane who are coming out to support. There's been so much support from the city. And it's unique because a lot of times you play these tournaments on bases, right? A little bit maybe more difficult at times for civilians to get in. But this time played at an amazing newer high school complex turf field, and it's been amazing to see the marketing. I know when we landed at the Spokane International Airport, it was marketed right in front of your face. The people of Fairchild Air Force Base have done such a phenomenal job to market this tournament, and everyone at CISM as well, both in the United States and overseas.
Absolutely, and the girls even said it themselves. They have been seen, spotted, out, hanging out, checking out Spokane in their area when they do have free time, and civilians and lots of people, kids, men and women, come up to them and talk about how they came to see them play, and that they have seen them play at the scrimmages that they've been holding throughout the city and the towns in preparation for this tournament.
Steve Deneau, he's one of the main people who got this thing rolling. He just checked into the broadcast booth. Just let us know if you want to get on the mic, Steve. I know you've been doing this for the last couple of years. It's just amazing, too, to see the tournament grow from a broadcasting standpoint. It's amazing to see the two squadrons come together. Robertson, who already has 3, gets it back to that point in a moment. But Steve Deneau and one of my mentors, Van Stokes, would literally sit there. They would build graphics themselves while calling the match. If you want to see two human beings multitask at its finest, which I'm terrible at, they were building graphics and streaming it and broadcasting it all at the same time. It's just so hard to do. Colton by herself, right to left. Left foot shot is deflected. It's going to be a corner for the United States. That was a shot attempt there by Christina O'Sullivan. But so many people have gone into making not only just this tournament happen, but streaming to where everyone can see it all over the world.
Yeah, I think this is a culmination. The tournament, the opening ceremony, is the hard work of tons of people, the base, the community that have got to put this on, and it is phenomenal.
Robertson was looking for number 4 off the header. And another good save by Malfroy in perfect position. I like what Malfroy did there. I know there hasn't been a lot of bright spots here for Belgium, but I'll tell you what, she's impressed, and I like what she did there. She shuffled the feet, anticipating that Robertson was going to try and go to that far post.
It's almost looking like the U.S. team has been talking on the sidelines at halftime that they're trying to get these middle players a goal of them for themselves this half.
Colton has